Hey guys, what is up? It is Lake here, coming at you with another video. Now today I'm going to be doing a video on just a few things on virtual reality. Now I know a lot of you guys are looking into going for a PlayStation VR. I know this is pretty old by now, but I thought I'd just do a video on it because I know probably some of you are interested, and I think this video is necessary, at least before like Black Friday or Christmas or any of that stuff. Because I think some people might actually go for it. Now, I think some people are probably going to go for this, like, for the holidays or Black Friday, they see a nice deal. Go for this PlayStation View, which is currently, it's, technically it's $400, but you can go around, like Best Buy had it for $300 this weekend, stuff like that. Overall, the setup comes out to $400. Because keep in mind, you do need a PlayStation camera. And there's some other various accessories that pretty much add up to about $400 for the entire set. So basically, if I were you, if you're going to go to the PlayStation View way, or VR way, sorry about that, definitely PlayStation VR is cheaper in total than PC virtual reality gaming, obviously. You can get, if you're going to go for VR, I definitely just get a PlayStation Pro. You're going to want that extra processing power because your PlayStation, your regular PS4s is going to get so over, it's going to be a bottleneck to the VR. It's not going to have enough power. It'll work, but it won't be near the experience of a PlayStation Pro for that. So you're definitely going to want a PlayStation Pro and this whole setup. So you're roughly looking about $900 to $1,000, give or take. But that's really cheap for a VR setup. Now, PlayStation, I wouldn't recommend PlayStation VR right now because of the limited titles that are available for it. There's not too much stuff available. You go out there, you look, you're like looking through the store. There's some stuff, like there's the Battlefront, the first Battlefront. They had like a fighter thing, simulator or something that was VR. I think Black Ops 3 may have had some VR content. I know you can pretty much play any game with the VR headset. So if you don't like to have a monitor, you just like laying down or sitting and not having to look at a screen and have like distraction, you just want the VR, I think it's pretty weird to have it on. It's kind of weird. But if that's your thing and you want another monitor, that could be a good solution for you. But currently I don't think there's enough titles available for the PlayStation VR. So that's my take on it. But let's compare it to like PC VR. Let's say you go for Oculus Rift. HTC Vive's about $600. Oculus Rift all in is about $399 or $400. We'll round it. So you have $400. You're at least a VR ready PC. You probably want at least a 1070. I mean, you could probably go with a 60, but 1070. You're probably gonna want a 1080 or probably best 1080 Ti. I'd say 1080 is probably the sweet spot in there currently. And that alone is at least, 1080, 1080 Ti. They're about $600 to $700 for just the graphics card. And then you need a processor. Probably going to go for a little higher processor, probably at least an i7. You don't need an i9 for this. i7's perfect, or even an i5 would work. You need that. You're gonna need at least probably 16 gigs of RAM. You need about 16 gigs of RAM, but you probably ideally want 32. But 16 gigs would work actually fine. Now that I think about it, you don't need 32, but it's a nice thing to have. So you're coming in with a PC that's probably at least $1,000 to be VR ready, at least. And you can look up AMD builds. I know they've made this really accessible through their new line of just things in general. On the RX 480, that's a little older now, but I think they just came out with the Vegas GPUs. I'm not quite sure the pricing on those, but I heard and I looked at them a while ago. I don't quite remember, but I remember they were pretty good pricing. And then they had the the new processor line by them, which I'm blanking on right now, which kind of sucks because I was just talking about their new processors. I bet if I type in AMD, I will remember instantly. The Ryzen, the Ryzen series chips are cheaper and they are pretty good performance if you're going for budget. Now I do have a Intel build, but I definitely have nothing against AMD because my first build was an AMD and I thought it was fine. So I really have no bias towards processors, but if you're going for a little bit of a cheaper setup, AMD is the way to go. Might use a little more power, might generate a little more heat, but yet again, this new generation is pretty much on par with Intel. I would say it's pretty close. You know, obviously you can't expect to buy the cheapest Ryzen chip and be like, oh, this is gonna play all games just as good as an i7. No, you're gonna need the more expensive chip that's comparable in price, and they're gonna be very similar, I'd say, in my opinion. But you know, you can't expect to buy the cheapest Ryzen and, oh, this is better than an i7. You know, you gotta buy like the $400 Ryzen. I think it's the 1500X. I'm not quite sure on that. Might have to look it up, but you'd have to get comparable chips. But I think overall PC game is going to be a lot more expensive, and you're definitely probably going to want to build your own in order to save every dollar. So you're probably looking at least $1,500 with the headset, the PC, and all that. Pretty much all in, at least $1,500. So there's already $500 more you have to spend going the PC way. But I think it's definitely worth the investment because there's there's a lot more titles for VR on PC currently. I'd say there's obviously there's a bigger open source community, and there's a lot of open source VR games that you should probably expect on PC. And I just think overall right now, if you're gonna go this way, I wouldn't suggest VR yet. Like I said, it's not really developed yet on any platform. But if you're going to go for it, I definitely recommend spending your money towards more the PC side, because PlayStation VR is a great idea. I like the idea, I like the price point, but they just need more titles, and that won't come for a really long time. So by the time you can actually start using the VR, it'll be, you know, a long time from now. Maybe even the next PlayStation will be out, and that PlayStation VR will be completely outdated and won't work. So I'm not quite sure. My thing that I would suggest to anyone looking at VR right now is just go PC now. I really think PlayStation VR has like a huge potential. We gotta wait a little bit for it to actually, you know, kind of show some more titles and show more performance. You're definitely gonna want the Pro though, but you know, you're looking at $2,000 for probably a VR PC setup, $1,500 to $2,000 at least, where you're looking all in about $900 to $1,000, so that's about 50% less for the PS4 Pro and the VR. So I'd keep an eye out for titles. Obviously, all this stuff is subject to change. If you know, it might eventually get a lot better, a lot more titles and such, but we'll see. I know Infinite Warfare even had a VR game that came in the campaign, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know your opinions down below on this topic. I think definitely PC currently is the way to go for this yet. But PlayStation's got some potential. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys. Peace out.